Welcome back to the Postgame Show presented by the Maroon Club, enhancing 23 Division I sports. Join the Maroon Club today, and our player of the game is presented by Coca-Cola. Experience the Coke side of life. Here's Mike with the coach.
Coach, I watched a very good basketball team, and I'm not talking about American. I'm talking about your team today.
You know what? We did play well. We carried over the energy from the Navy game. And I talked to them before the game started about how good of a second half that was at Navy. And I think that we're capable of that every game, all the time. And we needed to start that way today against a tough American team.
Down the stretch, it always comes down to a few possessions, half-court offense, things like that. Seemed to execute a little bit better than you did. But I tell you what, that's one of the best teams in the league. If it's a measuring stick, you got to be happy.
Well, yes.
No moral victories. But
there are no moral victories, but one of the things that you mentioned, our half-court execution in critical moments, that's the next layer of it, and helping this group understand shot selection, helping them understand what we need to get done. They understand it when you're watching film, but understanding it in the moment is a whole different ball of wax, and that's where maturity and experience comes in, and unfortunately, we didn't have enough of that happening today.
Coach, you're creating, I've watched basketball here a long time, you're creating a winning culture. It's a pleasure for John and I and Gary to watch. So thank you so much for a couple minutes.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Natalie, come on in here. Natalie, 14 points, 16 rebounds today. Obviously, just a great game for you, but just, you know, a team, if that's a measuring stick, that's the team you want to go against, see where you're at, and I think you did it today. It's going to really pay dividends down the line.
Exactly. I think this game really showed us, and especially against Navy too, that we can compete with any team in the league, no matter what the preseason poll said or whatever. But we came up empty on a few possessions at the end, but we continued to fight the whole game, and we were executing in the beginning, and we just had to carry that through the whole game.
Let me ask you a quick question about high school seasons are coming to an end. You are obviously have a bunch of more games left. Does the issue of fatigue or anything? Obviously, we always talk about freshmen hitting the wall, but it looks like you hit that wall and broke right through it, as John Leone referred to.
I mean, there is a wall that you do hit. That's why it's important that the days that you have off, you're getting your rest, staying off your feet, and just taking care of your body and what you eat and how you spend your time.
Right, nutrition stuff. Thank you so much. Back to school on Monday.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Guys, a really nice effort. I tell you what, this team's coming a long way. It's great things to look forward to in the future. Back.
Okay, Mike, good to have you back also for today's basketball game. Taking us through the highlights as he always does. Here's John.
Yeah, Gary, and I think Coach Damon, Mike Joseph, Natalie Kucowski said it all. No moral victories, but I'll tell you what, Lafayette played very, very well. That is a very good American basketball team, and in the early going, they struggled a little bit, but Alina Kaskinias got hot, Gary, and you mentioned it, so many different weapons they have. There's the kick out, Cecily Carl hitting a three. All told, American hit 11 three-pointers, and they spread it around. This is a 6'3" post player in Cecily Carl, knocking down those jump shots, and it's no accident because she can catch and shoot. It's just another reason why American is such a good team. Gary, the other thing that stood out to me, this team had 21 assists on 26 baskets, and that comes from great guard play with LaDame and with Kinniston. But Lafayette came to play. That's a great look by freshman Olivia Martino, finding her classmate Natalie Kucowski for a three, and then Natalie doing great work around the glass, another offensive rebound, and the putback. There's Natalie going to work again, that time with a right hand. She's got all the moves. She is just going to terrorize this league. Ellen Graham, what a great story, the senior. Very limited playing time before this year. Kia Damon inserts her as a starter, and she's responded so well. Again, Kucowski, then you find a great catch and shoot. Anna Tazinski, among the leading three-point shooters in the Patriot League. Boy, she hit a couple of huge shots down the stretch. Lafayette just wouldn't go away, and sometimes the stars just line up right. That's not exactly the way Kia Damon drew it up on that play. But, Gary, they made a couple of those threes, and you're just wondering, is this Lafayette's night? Unfortunately, they came up just short.
Well, you always talk about small steps. I think this was a little bit of a bigger step for the Lafayette women today, going against this American basketball team. Keeping an eye on the Lafayette men, final 10 seconds. The men are now up by 7 points, so it looks like they're going to get themselves a victory on the road. All right, the American 74 points came on 26 field goals. They were 11 for 25 from beyond the arc, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. They were led by Cecily Carl with 16 points, 15 for Emily Kinniston, and 16 points for Alina Koskimius, as a good balance again by that American Ball Club. They go to 15-4. They go to 8-0 in the Patriot League. They win 9 straight. They are an outstanding team. The Lafayette women, 67 points on 25 field goals. They shot 50% from the floor today, 9 for 20 from beyond the arc, 8 for 11 from the free throw line. They were led by Natalie Kucowski, 14 points and 16 rebounds. That is her 7th double-double as a freshman for Lafayette. 12 points for Anna Tazinski, 4 for 8 from beyond the arc, and 12 points for Lexi Santorelli, and she had a couple of rebounds in the ball game also. Lafayette falls to 11, 3-5 in the Patriot League, and as we mentioned, it will be American at Holy Cross on Wednesday, and the Lafayette women will travel to Boston. We'll have the Lafayette men against Boston University right here for you on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. That's it for Mike Joseph. For John Leone, Rick Guillo, the RCN television team, thanks for spending a Saturday afternoon with us. We'll see you next Wednesday night. For all of us, I'm Gary Laubach. Goodbye, everybody.